Welcome back, everybody. What's going on? This is Brandon. I am the Whiskey Weatherman, and this is the Whiskey Weather YouTube channel, where it is always whiskey weather. Now, today's forecast is of Jeptha Creed Bottled & Bond Rye Bourbon Mash Bill Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And what I love about this is Jeptha Creed is a family-owned and operated business, owned and operated by a mom-and-daughter duo. We're talking Joyce and Autumn Nethery. They are based out of Shelbyville, Kentucky, which is about halfway between Louisville and Lexington, right there on the Bourbon Trail. So they've got about 64 acres of farmland out there in Shelbyville, Kentucky, where they grow their Bloody Butcher corn. I'm sure you've heard of it. It says right here on the bottle, featuring our estate-grown Bloody Butcher corn. They grow a majority of their ingredients, and that's what I love about them, is they're part of that proponent. They're a huge proponent of that ground to glass concept, that grain to glass concept, where you try to grow all of your grains or the ingredients that you're going to be putting in your products. They don't just make whiskey. I believe they got a brandy, maybe gin. I think it's gin or vodka, or maybe both. I could be wrong. But they grow a majority of the stuff that goes into their liquid, goes into their juice. And if they don't grow it, they source it from some of those other local farmers to give back to some of that local agriculture. So Jeptha Creed was founded with a motto, I'm going to butcher it, from Scotland, their ancient family motto from Scotland, Ne ouble, which kind of loosely translates. On the bottle it says, don't forget where you came from. And speaking of where you came from, they started their family farm back into the 1700s. Now the distillery's not that old. They didn't open their doors until 2016, so they're relatively young, but we're getting towards that 8-year-old range. Usually when you get to 8 years old, that's when you start to see some of that better tasting whiskey. At least that's what a lot of the experts say. I'm not an expert. I'm just giving my thoughts and my opinions. But we're getting there to their 8-year-old phase. This is a 4-year-old bourbon. First time I tried Jeptha Creed was at the Kentucky Bourbon Fest, which was an absolute blast. I think they're going to be there again this year. I'm going to be there. And if you want to join me, you can check out the link in the description below to get your tickets. It's an absolutely wonderful event. A ton of distilleries where you can meet a lot of the distillers themselves, a lot of people from the distilleries, try a lot of different whiskey, and maybe meet a couple of those whiskey weather YouTubers, aka me. Or Bruzel was there last year, I believe. It's Bourbon Night was there as well. So a lot of great people, not just at the distilleries, but a lot of the bourbon community checks that out. So if you want to head out to the Kentucky Bourbon Fest, go check out the description below for the link. So let's get to the whiskey, because that's why you're here. So, cracking this open, I have not tried this yet. This is that Jeptha Creed Bottled & Bond. So about the whiskey itself, Bottled & Bond means it comes in at 100 proof, at least 4 years old. And this says aged at least 4 years. Since it doesn't have anything other than that, I'm going to just assume that is a 4-year-old whiskey. It's a little bit different of a mash bill. I talked about that Bloody Butcher corn already. 70% bloody, easy for me to say, 70% Bloody Butcher corn, 20% malted rye, 5% malted barley. So again, 75% Bloody Butcher corn. I can't even say it right. Say that 5 times fast. A little bit more unique. The middle part of that, the 20% malted rye, you don't always see malted rye. That kind of meets some of that, but also brings out more flavors, which I'm really excited to try and give a try. I've not tried this Bottled & Bond yet. You guys know I'm a sucker for Bottled & Bonds. And again, drinking out of my Whiskey Weather Glencairn, which is brand new from my fraternity buddy, Ryan Post. Big shout out to him. He's a big contributor to the Whiskey Weather YouTube channel. And if you want to be as well, you can take a look at the Patreon below. Just starting that up. If you want to be a supporter, would appreciate any support that you can provide. I just love doing this for you guys and love meeting everybody in the community. So, without further ado, let's get to the whiskey. It's a darker look. I mean, for 4 years old, it's got some color to it. Very sweet on the nose. Having a hard time pulling out. There's some earthiness. That malted rye. I think that's, I'm getting that maltiness. So, it's hard to pull out a ton of flavor right off the bat, but it's a very sweet and it's a delicious nose, but I'm having a hard time. It's not like a baking sweet either. Like usually when I get to these bourbons, I'm talking like that baking sweetness. We're talking confectioner's sugar, just like a nice buttery. This is more, not even a candy sweetness. There's vanilla. definitely that's the only thing I've been able to pull out. Kind of disappoints me that I'm not able to pull out more, because this nose is actually very, very good. A little bit of grass, like not fresh cut grass, but like farmland grass, if that makes sense. A little bit of smoke, not like a peatiness smoke, but like that sweet smoke. Almost like if you burnt a toasted marshmallow. That's kind of what I'm getting out of the nose. As I went in there, I got a little bit of grape too. All right, let's see what it tastes like. That's different. Got a little bit of a funk to it. Kind of reminds me of some turkey products. Now, as I went in there with it in my nose, definitely get some of that corn. The Bloody Butcher corn definitely adds some funk to it. I think the malted rye as well. Wow, this is really good. I'm having a hard time putting my finger on that. That is very unique. It's one of the more unique pours that I've had in a while. Wow. It's like a smokiness to it. Almost has like a scotchy feel, but it's not scotch, obviously. Man, this one stumped me. Man, that is different. Wet wipe pissing me off. Yeah, more of that earthiness, that grass comes through from the nose, but not like an off-putting grass. This is really good, guys. Definitely, I don't think this is an everyday sipper. This is one that will definitely mix things up on my bar. But this Jeptha Creed, born and raised 100 proof Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, the bottle and bond, I think it's good. I'm having a hard time pulling some flavor notes out of it. There's definitely the vanilla on the nose. I hate using the word smooth, but it's very smooth. The finish is long, but it's not overpowering. It's there, it lingers, but it's not. I would not expect this to be 100 proof actually on the palate. I would think more like a 90 to 95. So if you are afraid of the higher proof whiskeys or the higher proof bourbons, I think this might be a really good go-to for you if you wanted to step up in proof, but still keep some of that flavor. Again, yeah, that peatiness. It's got, I'm assuming that's what the Bloody Butcher corn, or maybe even the malted rye is doing. It's got a smokiness to it that I just can't put my finger on, but it's not off-putting. It's very good. It's just different, which is not something, a lot of these whiskeys you start to get and they all start to mesh and kind of feel the same. This is unique, and I'm all about a unique pour. This definitely has like a Scotch or an Irish feel to it to me. So if that's up your palate, if that's something that you like, I enjoyed this. I don't enjoy that this light is pissing me off, but hey, here we are. Join the Patreon. Maybe we can get a couple dollars to scrounge together better lighting, but I'm just kidding, guys. But if you do want to join, I would appreciate it, and your name will be at the end of the video, as you'll see at the end here with some of the patrons who already have joined. So big shout out to them. But yeah, I'm going mostly sunny. Here's the deal. I got a little bit of clouds in the sky because it can't be a perfect day. I don't think that there's much out there that's perfect whiskey, but I think this would be a great summer drinking whiskey. It's not overpowering. It's got some flavor. I think you could sit, I'm picturing sitting on the back porch of their farm at Jeptha Creed, looking off into the sunset, drinking a lighter whiskey, but it's very delicious. It's got a lot of flavor. Just having a hard time pulling it together. So time to pull it together, Brandon. Again, whiskey from Jeptha Creed. I think it's pretty good. You guys should check them out. I've got a link in the description below. They are available in a lot of different states. I believe they are available by distribution in about 10 of them, and about 40 of them you can get via shipping. I've got a link in the description below if you'd like to buy it, as well as I think they just put out a 6-year-old wheated bourbon, which I'm sure is fantastic. I love wheaters as well, and this is affordable. I think this checks in at $49.99. So cheers to the folks over at Jeptha Creed for passing this my way. a unique pour. Not the best pour I've had, but a very good whiskey that I think is worth exploring if you're into that, or if you're into that Scotchy kind of phase. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Please give me another shot. I've got more videos here where you can check it out. And if you did enjoy this, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and smash that like button. Don't forget to share this with some of your friends. So until next time, I leave you with this. It is always whiskey weather. Just remember, please drink responsibly, everybody. Cheers. Hope you have a great night.